On this episode of Unhinged, I have strapped my microphone to. We have an eyelash curler. Hey, I'm Hannah, I am 29, and I have been transitioning now for just over 4 years. And today I want to pose to you a question. How do you find yourself during transition? And what I mean by that, I'm talking about things like your style, your clothing, what even suits you. I think it's a tough question because most people spend a lifetime answering it, refining their look and expression. And when you start a transition and you're presented with this blank slate, it is just so daunting. Like, where do you even begin approaching that problem? I really wish it was easy as just rocking up to the mall or a website or the thrift store, throwing together a cart of things you like, that you vibe with, that you get down with, and calling it a day. And for a lot of people, it is, but the vast majority, it's not. For many, it's a journey paved with awkward moments, dysphoria, and more often than not, crippling cringe. Think about it. Most people figure this stuff out during puberty together with everyone else around them at a time in their lives when they're expected to experiment, try new things, be a little weird, and they do so with the comfort of being hidden amongst the crowd. A privilege we are very rarely afforded. For us, instead, it can feel like we are thrust into the social spotlight and that we're the odd one out. For example, I started my transition at 24 in an office job. And needless to say, some of my stylistic choices at the time were questionable, to say the least. And that's being kind.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would.
So today, I want to take a look at this awkward phase of transition and share with you some of the things I did and continue to do to make my way through this awkward phase. I think it's natural to start with, what did people do as kids? They mimicked the people around them, their friends, their peers, their parents. Think of the scenario of like an impressionable teen watching a TV show, a movie, a YouTuber, seeing something they like and copying it. If you see a style you like out in the wild, on TV, in person, anywhere, copy it. Rely on that instinct. You are drawn to this thing for a reason. And it's a great way to find new ideas. I, for example, was watching season 4 of Hacks, and the main character, Ava Daniels, had these style of rings. I was like, I like that. So you should have seen me on Etsy, whipping out the ruler, looking at photos from the show, trying to find like the ratio of these rings to each other and ones that curved the right way. Anyway, you got my point. It's a powerful way to find new things. Okay, so I was just in the middle of editing this video, and I thought I should give a shout out to Kathleen Felix Hager, who was the costume designer for Hacks season 4. So thank you for my rings. I love them. Such a good design. Bye. Another trick is to find a celebrity that kind of looks like you or has a similar vibe to you, and then copy some of the stuff they do, or at least try it out. These celebrities are paying stylists huge sums of money every year to design their outfits and their looks. You might as well take advantage of that.
It's free real estate.
But one caveat with all of this, these things aren't always going to suit you, and that's okay. The key thing is to not be discouraged and to recognize these moments for what they are and not as a personal failure. They're a chance to figure out why something isn't working for you and build that body of knowledge that everyone else did during puberty through socialization and experimentation, something many of us missed out on while growing up. Let's try another real-world example. I was trying this half-up, half-down thing with my hair for the longest time, and I could never get it to work. And then one day I was on my way to work and I saw this girl with her hair styled exactly how I wanted mine. And I just sat there in disbelief. I was like, what is this girl doing that I wasn't? So I was trying to work it out. And then I noticed when I do a ponytail, I usually make it taut and tight. But she was loosening it a little bit after she tied it up. So I made a note of it. After I got home, I gave it a try. And lo and behold, it looked great. It looked exactly how I wanted it to. So in that moment, I learned so many things, not just how to do a half up, half down hairstyle. I also learned how to incorporate that into other hairstyles and maybe augment those. This is all stuff that typically people learn growing up. Like if I was a 12-year-old teenage girl, I could just go to my friend and say, hey, how do you do your hair like that? Or if they're a good friend, they might see me trying to do it and go like, hey, I know if you try it this way, it might look a bit better. These are all things that we miss out on doing these and going through this process later in life. It's unfortunately rare that you might have a work colleague that'll go, hey, my 30-year-old coworker, if you do your hair this way or a different way, it might look better. Not many people are going to do that. And if you have a friend who does, they are a real one. Hold on to them. Let's take a second to talk about clothes. I want to preface this with, at the end of the day, wear what you like. These are just some mindsets that I found helped me. First, try to find pieces that complement your body. A recurring idea I talk about here is that not everything is going to suit you, and that's okay. It's so easy to try something on, look at yourself in the mirror, get super discouraged, and think something along the lines of, ugh, if I wasn't trans, I could pull this off. But the truth is, it might just not suit you, and this is not a uniquely trans experience. Everyone goes through this, cis people included. I'm going to tell you something that took me a very long time to realize. The line between body dysmorphia and gender dysphoria is razor thin. And I already know I'm going to be navigating that line and unpacking it for the rest of my life. But I think the first step is to recognize that there is a line and how close they are. What I'm saying is not that you can't be disappointed, but just to be aware that that disappointment isn't a thing unique to the trans experience. It's something everyone goes through. And don't beat yourself up over it. With that said, it can be limiting to box yourself into body types. Humans are so much more complicated than that. But I do feel in this context, it's a good starting point. For example, this article from the Concept Wardrobe, I found hugely helpful when beginning, when I'm trying to establish and build upon that body of knowledge of like even the names of clothes, how they suit different shapes and figures, what they say when you... Is that an ice cream truck? Anyway, where was I? Back to how they suit different figures, etc., what they say. And I found this particularly interesting in those scenarios where it's not just like you going to school or something, or it's more of those like fixed clothing scenarios like business casual or formal wear. I found those, at least initially, hugely difficult to dress for, since they're usually kind of distilled versions of something or a look. So like skirts, dresses, things like that. So I highly recommend you check out this article. And also, shout out to wide leg jeans. I wear these things everywhere in so many different contexts, like work, meeting up with friends, everything. And they're just so flexible. Like if you're a Lego brick, rectangular looking mother like me, okay, you can't really see them, but like that little scoot out that they give is like, oh, I owe these things a lot. I want to talk about this idea that I call like the confidence feedback loop, where trying something kind of pushes you to try the next thing. Presenting as your gender for the first time, there's no other way to say it, is terrifying. But just remember, you don't have to make huge, sweeping changes all at once. Sorry, we have a sparrowhawk that has been like killing all the birds at our bird feeder. So I saw a bird like swoop down and I was like, oh, Did one of our goldfinches just like get it? Anyway, presenting as your gender for the first time there's no other way to put it. It is terrifying. But just remember, you don't have to make huge sweeping changes all at once. Your transition journey is just that. A journey, and yours. Do it at your pace and on your terms. And when you can, push through the awkwardness. I promise you, it's worth it. You won't believe how quickly things that once petrified you become everyday. I distinctly remember walking through makeup aisles or the bra section in clothes shops and just feeling so out of place, like I was a freaking alien or something. And now I do those things like on a weekly basis. And if anything, I love it. I enjoy it. And that is so freeing and so liberating. Even things like going outside. I distinctly remember the first day I wore a skirt outside the house, and I was so scared. I was so worried about what my neighbors would think or what I'd do if they saw me. Every time I heard a car, I'd be running to hide behind the nearest thing. And when I look at photos from that day, I just can't help but laugh. I didn't even make it out of the housing estate. And so to wrap things up, after months of going through this process of trying new things, being disappointed, experimenting and applying my learnings, I came to a beautiful realization that in the end, sure, finding yourself through transition can be about clothes, style, makeup, hair, grooming, all of those things. But for me, the true beauty of it is finding the self-confidence, the self-respect to even care about those things to begin with. For me, post-transition was the first time in my life I cared about how I was perceived by others. And this wasn't fueled by a desire for validation from others, only myself. After all, you don't decorate your room for anyone else. You do it for you. And I think post-transition, I finally saw myself as something worth decorating. Thank you for watching. And just on that note, I want to take a moment to thank all of you who watch my videos, and especially those who take the time to leave a comment. It's always massively humbling to scroll down to the comment section and to see how lovely you all are. And honestly, I'm taken aback so often by how candid and open you are and the quality of the discussions happening. It just warms my heart and it makes it all worth doing. So please, I open the stage. If you have any tips or moments of you finding yourself along your transition journey, I invite you to share them down below. And with that, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye. And the ice cream truck's there again. Mm-hmm.